Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and I was always told out of voice radio, so today it is time to look at a new GX Pokemon. I've talked about Lucario GX, but now Pokebeach.com has revealed, they believe, the text, and it looks about right. So we're going to have a gander, assuming it's correct. The image is small, but I'm willing to believe them, so let's have a gander. Now, it is a fighting Pokemon. We knew that it was a fighting Pokemon before. That means beautifully that it gets Brooklet Hill. I adore Brooklet Hill, as regular viewers of this channel will be fully aware. And the great thing about Brooklet Hill is it allows you to grab a Riolu, any basic fighting or water Pokemon, and pop it straight onto your bench. Now, that does mean, of course, that you could also play Octillery as a bit of draw support and search out your Remoraid as you're, playing Brooklet Hill anyway. The fact that you're a fighting Pokemon means you hit weakness against Silvally, which is quite nice, but of course far nicer is the fact that you're hitting weakness against Zoroark GX, who is probably the best of the GXs, in fact the best Pokemon around at the moment. The weakness to Psychic is not ideal, and the reason quite simply is Buzzwole is around. Buzzwole is really good, Buzzwole is weak to Psychic. Therefore, people will be playing Psychic Pokemon to take down Buzzwole, and they will be taking down Lucario as well. Garbona is not seeing a huge amount of play, but is always there. Silvally can use Psychic Memory to hit for weakness, and we're going to be getting Naganadel in the not too distant future, which is a really good Pokemon that will be hitting you for weakness here. 210 HP is right in line with Pokemon like Silvally and Zoroark, so it's about what we would expect, and we have no idea what the retreat cost is because we can't see the bottom of the card. I mean, to be fair, we don't actually know it has a weakness to Psychic, but it's clearly got a weakness to Psychic. Why would it not have a weakness to Psychic? Fighting type Lucarios also do. Now, Lucario EX had a retreat cost of 2, Lucario from Fates Collide had a retreat cost of 2, but Lucario from Burning Shadows has a retreat cost of 1, which all goes together to say it's going to be a retreat cost of 1 or 2. We'll have to wait and see. But of course, it's the attacks we're really excited about here. First of all, and I like this first attack, for 1 fighting energy, 30 damage, if this Pokemon evolved from Riolu during this turn, this attack does 90 more damage. Now, as always, we are going to need a proper translation of this. This is very much like Golisopod GX's first impression, and when that was first revealed in Japan, we all thought that it was, if it came active this turn, whereas it had to be on the bench and become active, you don't get the extra damage with first impression if you evolved a Wimpod in the active. As it stands at the moment, the translation Pokebeach.com have given us means that as long as you evolve this turn, you're good. Whether you evolved on the bench and came active, or whether you had a Riolu in the active and then evolved it, it doesn't matter. Either way, you'll get the extra. And this is important, because the numbers here work beautifully. You are doing 120 damage, which when doubled will do 240, which is easily enough to KO something like a Zoroark or a Silvally. Now, Zoroark or Silvally are stage 1s. They could, and I don't know why you would, but they could use bodybuilding dumbbells to go up to 250 HP and survive this hit, but then again, you could use Field Blower to discard it, so, call it a draw. This is a good attack, and it's not really an attack that needs Choice Band here. Because the thing is, you're hitting 120, you're getting a 1-hit KO with weakness, 2-hit KO without. With a Choice Band, you're not really adding very much here. This isn't a Choice Bandy kind of attack. But just to be completely clear about this, single energy attack, KO Zoroark GX, that is wonderful. And of course, you can play this like Golisopod in that you KO a Zoroark. Zoroark can only hit 150 with a Choice Band. They don't KO you back. You can then Ace Roller, pick up a Lucario, And then you've got a Lucario and a fighting energy in your hand. So you evolve another Riolu, attach the energy, and off you go again. Now, I said Choice Band isn't that important, but it could be if instead of a regular energy, you use a strong energy. And this is when this attack goes into kind of overdrive amazingness. Because now with a Choice Band and a strong energy, you go up to 170 and you're getting a one-hit KO on Tapu Lele. That is phenomenal. One strong energy, one Choice Band, as long as you evolve this turn. And just so we're clear, we've seen that this does work with Golisopod, so we should not be worried about it working with Zoroark. You then get to do 170 damage. So it's not just that you're hitting weakness with Zoroark, although you are. You're also then getting a single energy KO on a Tapu Lele, and Tapu Lele sees play in every single deck. It is such a wonderfully efficient KOer of Tapu Lele. I would even consider playing Counter Catcher for if you're behind on prizes, and Pokemon Catcher for if you're not, so I can take down Tapu Lele using this Lucario GX. And I suppose it's worth pointing out at this stage that you can also use Zoroark GX, and then it actually goes up to 180. This first attack is amazing. For a single energy, it is redonkulous. And I don't even really care that you have to evolve from Riolu this turn, because you know what? It hasn't stopped Golisopod. We've got Ace Roller in the format. Why would it stop you now? And I am aware that Golisopod you can just switch to the bench, whereas this you actually have to devolve it. Still not terribly buying it. This first attack is too good. Now, I spent a long time talking about the first attack. I'm going to spend very little time talking about the second attack. It's garbage. 130 is not very good. You can't use double colorless energy, so you have to actually have 3 separate attachments. Okay, if 2 of them are strong energy, you go up to 170. No! This is a bad attack. Don't use it. It's garbage. But the GX attack... oh, the GX attack is good. If Pokebeach is to be believed, it's Tauros' GX attack. Except it's called something slightly different. It's called... and this is wonderful, and this is what it's called, you can see from the text. Cantankerous Beatdown. What an attack name. And the best thing is we know that's going to be the attack name in English. If you squint, you can read it. 30 damage for every damage counter on this Pokemon for 2 colorless energy. So you could just use double colorless here, but you could still use something like strong energy. Although be careful relying on something like strong energy when your opponent could play something like an enhanced hammer instead. Just putting that out there. This is an absolutely good attack. It is not the main reason we're using Lucario GX here. Just so we're clear. The first attack is the best one. But you know what? Crossing Cut isn't the reason we use Golisopod. First impression is. But Crossing Cut is such a good attack. It still sees a whole bunch of play. The thing is here, you've got 210 HP. Unless your opponent is hitting you for weakness, they are probably not getting a one-hit KO. And if they're not getting a one-hit KO, you can either use Ace Roller, you could even here use something like a Max Potion. Single energy attacks always lead us towards Max Potion. And as a side note, you should be considering Special Charge here, because this is a Pokemon that really likes strong energy and really likes double colorless. But you don't need to heal here, because even as good as the first attack is, sometimes you won't be able to take a Pokemon down. Sometimes you'll have something like a 240 HP Decidueye GX that you cannot get a one-hit KO on. Well, the great news is, if you've got 8 damage counters on you, your GX attack will get a one-hit KO on your opponent. I know that Tauros GX hasn't seen a whole lot of play lately, but it did see a bunch of play, and people were excited about it. Tauros had a great GX attack. The problem was it didn't really have much else going for it. Lucario has a stunning first attack, and it has this GX attack as a backup. I should also mention here that you can use Devolution Spray, but we've seen this kind of attack with Golisopod, and they use Ace Roller. They don't use Devolution Spray. Some of the early opinions on this card around the interwebs have not been terribly positive, but this is basically Golisopod GX, but you get the extra damage if you evolved in the active, which makes it better. You're hitting for a better weakness, and you've got a better GX attack. In what world is this not better than Golisopod? Oh yeah, and it combos really nicely with Buzzwole, which is already great. And it combos really nicely with Lycanroc, which is already great. And it's got Brooklet Hill to help you set up. And I've had a very good Christmas, and I anticipate a wonderful New Year. And I don't want to be throwing around wassies like candy, but this is better than Golisopod GX. Slightly less awkward first attack, better weakness, Brooklet Hill, strong energy, and better natural partners, although arguably a worse weakness. I've got to give this 5 wassies. And if you think I'm being too generous, here's my thoughts in a nutshell. Golisopod is one of the best Pokemon we have in the format at the moment. Lucario is a stage 1 that has a slightly better version of the attack, plus it gets Brooklet Hill strong energy and hits for a better weakness. How is this not an amazing card? How am I reading opinions on the internet that this is mediocre overall? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, between the GX attack and everything else, I don't see how this isn't amazing. It destroys Zoroark, it destroys Tapu Lele, and each for a single energy. Seriously, look how good Golisopod has been since it came out. Think about all the advantages Lucario has over it. Profit. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to hear from you guys. Tell me I'm being over the top, but you're going to have to go into a lot of detail because I think this is phenomenal. Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. We're going to be doing a live stream at 1 PM tomorrow, UK time. Come and join in. It's going to be fun. It always is. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. You get bonus pods. It's fun. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.